Hello everyone, and welcome to the series of videos Searching 101. Now these videos are here to show you our library webpage and to show you about several of the different library databases that we offer and just a lot of the resources that we have on hand for you as students to be able to use. Now we have recently gotten an awesome new website, as you can see currently on the screen, and so I'm going to take you on kind of a mini tour of how to get through kind of it and how to get to our library website, as we no longer have a main tab here on the front. So starting off at highlands.edu, what you're going to do is you're going to come over here and you're going to click on Quick Links. And so Quick Links is really going to be the #1 place that you're going to want to go. As you can see, we have the library right here, but this is also a quick place to go to get to SCORE, to get the D2L, and to get to your student email and a lot of other things. But we're going to focus right here on the library. So we're going to click on Library, and that is going to take you to our home page. Here is the Galileo search engine, and underneath that, since we already know what database we're going to be using, which is Proquest, to be able to get to it, you would click on All Databases A to Z. There is another way to be able to get to Proquest, and if you click on Guides, then you should be able to find your class guide, and the LibGuide that was made for your class, there will be a link in the LibGuide to take you specifically to Proquest. But from here, we are going to go to All Databases A through Z, and we're going to click on P, and we're going to go down. And so as you see, there are a couple different Proquest databases available to you, but this specific one that we're going to be looking at is Proquest Databases. And clicking on that will take you to the website, and Susanna will tell you where to go from there.
As you see, there is subject areas and other things you can do. But when I search a database, I like to start at the most basic and then get complicated. So let's say we were looking up an article on the Civil War. You notice I just type in my term and I hit go. Let's do a search for something a lot of us do during the fall. How about carving a pumpkin? So I'm not going to click advanced search. I'm not going to click anything complicated. I'm just going to type in pumpkin carving. And I'm going to hit enter. Now, of course, if you know what you're searching for, you can click on advanced search. You can make a lot of choices from the very beginning. But I think when you're searching broadly, it's easier to narrow it down. So, pumpkin carving, I have almost 30,000 results, which is too many. The first thing I always want to do when I'm doing a search in a database is look for the full text button and click on that. Why is that important? Full text means that the articles the database retrieves for you will be complete and full. It will not just be a tiny little bit that just tells you a small part of what the full article says. So full text is very, very important. So I'm going to click on full text and change that, and now you'll notice I'm down to just about 20,000 results. So 10,000 of those results that were listed before were not complete articles. So it's great that we chose full text. Now, my next step could be just to start reading articles. Of course, with 20,000 articles, that's a lot. And as I look at the first few, I'm seeing that these don't really seem to be related to how to carve a pumpkin. They're talking about carving kits and groups called pumpkin masters and things like that. So I'm going to put pumpkin carving in quotation marks. And I'm going to click search again. And now look at this. Just under 10,000 results. Why did pumpkin carving in quotations make such a difference? Why did it make such a difference that I put pumpkin carving in quotations? That's because instead of the database searching for each word individually, it is now searching for the phrase pumpkin carving. Only those two words together will come up in my results. And again, that makes a difference in the results that I get. A new face on pumpkin carving. Oh, look, pumpkin carving 101. That might be one that's really useful. Pumpkin carving primers. So yeah, I think I'm well on my way to finding articles that are very useful. But now let's think about this. If I'm making this be a phrase, what if I change my search phrase to this? Look at that. I got different results. Now you and I know that pumpkin carving and carving a pumpkin are the same thing. We're searching for the same thing, but the database only knows to search for exactly what you type in. So that means when you're doing a search, you have to be very precise. And you have to be flexible. You have to say, well, if I didn't get anything with it phrased this way, maybe I should think about another way to say it. Maybe I should think about other words I can search for. So that's very, very important when you're doing a search. I'm going to click back once and go back to my original pumpkin carving. So with 10,000 results, that's a lot. Let's say, for example, I was doing a project on the history of pumpkin carving. How would I be able to look at these? Are all recent, 2007, 2011. What if I wanted an article on pumpkin carving a long time ago, pumpkin carving in the 60s? So look at this. In Proquest, there is a way that you can narrow by publication date. So now, these are articles about pumpkin carving in the 60s. May or may not be useful, but it just shows you that there's a lot more options you have than just your search bar. There are all kinds of things here on the side. If you have to have a specific kind of source for a project, say your instructor tells you that you need a magazine resource and a newspaper resource. You can go over here to source type and you can click newspapers and get just newspaper articles, or you can get magazines and receive just magazine articles. What if your instructor says you have to have a peer-reviewed article? What does that mean, peer-reviewed? Peer-reviewed just means that an article has been written by someone who is a scholar in their field, and other scholars in the same field have read that article and said, yes, this is a good article, it can be published. So you know that the quality of a peer-reviewed article is going to be very, very high. I'm surprised that there are actually peer-reviewed articles on pumpkin carving. Again, in this particular search, it might not be all that important. But I wanted to show you those tools are very, very important when you're doing a really broad search for a really broad topic. And you've got all these other things that you can use as tools to narrow down your search. So don't feel like if you end up with pumpkin carving as your topic, that when you type in pumpkin carving, you've got to deal with whatever search results you have. You can narrow them down using all of these tools here on your right. So let's do one more thing. Let's look at an article. I'm going to click on this one. You can see here's the article title, and here is the journal or newspaper title. Everyone knows you have to cite your articles correctly, so this would be the information that you would need to cite it. I'm going to show you a trick in a minute. So this is about a pumpkin carving contest. And this is an abstract, so this is just a brief look at what the article is about. And then you have the full text of the article. And you'll notice that our search is highlighted, and that's just to show you where every time that appears. So you look through the article, you see if it's useful, and if it's useful, you can do several things. You can make all your notes and you can write everything down by hand, and then you can hope that you'll be able to find this article again if you need it. Or you can email it to yourself. Super, super easy. Just pop yourself an email, and it's going to send you the full text, a citation, and everything else, and you can include a citation at the end. So if you are doing the MLA citation, you can change that, put in your email address, and continue. And that will email the article to you. Super easy. If all you need is a citation because you're writing as you do your research, you can click on the Cite button. Almost every database has one of these buried somewhere. So we're going to change this to the MLA citation format. And here's one thing I want to say about these quick and easy cite buttons. It's very important to double check that the citations are correct. Most of the time they are, or they're going to be really close. But it's up to you as a student to check to make sure they're correct. You can use your Harbrace Handbook, you can use Purdue OWL, you can use Hacker MLA citations, and all of these things are either on the guide for this class, or they're a book that you can either get in the library or that you probably have. So that's citations. And I just wanted to show you that. It's a great tool, but you shouldn't rely on it totally. Let's go back. And let's look at something else. So, that's a quick introduction to Proquest. A lot of content, and a lot of what I'm talking about searching is good for a bunch of different things. You can use it to search for books. You can use those tricks to search in other databases. It's not just Proquest tools. So, welcome to Proquest. I hope this was useful. And if you have any questions, please stop by your local library. We're always happy to help. Thanks a lot.